This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, May 31. In Squiz Kids today, Operation Neighbourhood, PNG's chocolate frogs, my lockdown life, and Turnip, the dancing tortoise. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
How to help our neighbours is going to be the top of the list of things to be discussed today as the leaders of Australia and New Zealand meet in Queenstown for their once-a-year get-together. Aussie Prime Minister Scott Morrison has travelled to meet New Zealand's PM, Jacinda Ardern, to discuss, among other things, how together we can help our neighbours in the South Pacific weather the COVID storm. As two of the more developed countries in the region, which is to say that Australia and New Zealand are two countries that are lucky enough to be bigger and more advanced than other countries in the neighbourhood, it's our responsibility to make sure that smaller countries are looked after. And for countries like Fiji and Samoa and Tonga and the Cook Islands, which all depend on visitors from Australia and New Zealand, it's been a really tough 18 months. On the subject of doing it tough, Victoria today enters its fourth full day of lockdown following an outbreak of COVID cases there last week. Victorian kids will not be at school this week, relying instead on remote learning again. On the upside, there were record numbers of Victorians vaccinated over the weekend as Australians are reminded COVID is not in any hurry to go away. Keep listening for our Squiz Kids special lockdown programming, My Lockdown Life, coming up later in the program.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a new story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Papua New Guinea, our neighbour to the north, where Aussie scientists have found chocolate frogs hanging from trees. No, it's not some elaborate Easter egg hunt. These are real-life frogs, which look a lot like our very own green tree frogs, but are a lovely chocolate in colour. It's a thing because it's the first time these chocolate frogs have ever been recorded by scientists, which is kind of nuts when you think about it, that in this day and age we're still discovering animals that no scientist in the Western world has ever seen before. Mind you, the fact that these frogs like to live in swamps in thick rainforests, where crocodiles also live, probably accounts for why nobody has stumbled upon one of them before. I wonder if they taste as good as the chocolate frogs in Harry Potter. Probs not. And yes, there's a link to photos of the chocky frog in today's episode notes.
Animal Kingdom.
From chocolate frogs to dancing tortoises. It's a Monday, so we're going to ease you into the week gently. And so we turn our attention to Tennessee in the United States, where video of Turnip, the dancing tortoise, has set the internet alight. Turnip is a 12-year-old female Madagascan radiated tortoise who lives at the Tennessee Aquarium. When her keepers spray her with water, she performs a very groovy dance, bends her knees, shakes her booty. It's very funny. Turnip belongs to a species of tortoise renowned for their rain dances. She and her species also love a tickle and a scratch, because unlike other tortoises, they have nerve endings in their shell, meaning they can feel the bristles of a brush or the tickle of fingernails. How good is it when someone scratches your back? The best. And yes, there's a link to video of Turnip dancing in today's episode notes. A gift from me to you on a Monday.
My Lockdown Life.
On Friday, we invited the kids of Victoria to tell us about their lockdown lives. how they were feeling, their advice on how to make the best of it, what they would say to the coronavirus if only it would listen. Amanda's been watching the inbox. Amanda, what are you hearing?
Well, Bryce, Victoria has some really articulate and thoughtful kids. I don't want to give away too much before our special episode on Friday, but I thought you might like to hear a little snippet of some of the answers to the first of our 5 questions. That question was, what did you think and feel when you heard that your state was going into lockdown again?
When I heard we were going back into lockdown, I felt annoyed with the people spreading COVID-19. And I thought I hate COVID-19.
When I heard we were going into lockdown again, I felt kind of sad because I knew I wasn't going to see my friends for a long time. And except I also felt happy because I was going to see my family a lot more.
I felt quite a mixture of things. I felt glad because, we get to spend more time with our family and friends. Not quite friends though, but families. And I didn't really like it that much as well because lots of things were postponed and I don't like things being postponed, like a sleepover for my birthday.
Well, I was particularly annoyed because I was having a birthday party on the weekend that I now could not have. I was also on Snakes and Oranges duty for soccer, which had to be cancelled as well, and we were looking forward to that because we had a nice surprise.
When they said we were going to go into lockdown for another 7 days, I felt kind of sad because we're not going to see our friends again, and that's sad. And so, but also I felt happy because there's lots of more opportunities to play in the backyard.
And Bryce, a massive shout out to Jessie from Melbourne, Tamnais from Balwyn, Bethany from Maidstone, Charlie from Geelong and Tavish from Balwyn for their answers. We look forward to hearing from many, many, many more Victorian Squiz Kids in Friday's special episode.
Yes, we do. But right now, I want to know what Charlie's Snakes and Oranges surprise was. Don't forget, of course, it's not too late for other Victorian Squiz Kids to share a snippet of their lockdown lives. We've stuck 5 questions in the episode notes. Just record yourself answering those questions and email the audio file through to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. We'll be featuring kids' submissions for the remainder of lockdown. And Victorian teachers, we hope this might be a great activity for your class as part of their remote learning this week. Well, don't just stand there, get involved.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which neighbouring country has Aussie PM Scott Morrison flown to visit? That's right, it's New Zealand. Question number 2. In which other neighbouring country have scientists found a chocolate frog? Yeah, it's Papua New Guinea. Question number 3. What does Turnip the tortoise do when sprayed with water? That's right, she dances.
Shout-outs.
It's May 31. On this day in 1813, the explorers Blaxland, Lawson and Wentworth finally found a way across the Blue Mountains west of Sydney, cracking the code of the Great Dividing Range and opening the colony of Sydney up to expansion. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Kylie from Bellevue Heights, Lincoln from Maitland, Olivia from McLeod, Sophia from Cannon Hill, Jaden from North Rocks, Lewis, who requested a shout-out for his 5-6 CS class at Como West Public School on the occasion of his birthday. And many happy returns to Nikki from your friend Elle and Class 6M at Hunter School of the Performing Arts in Newcastle. And a belated birthday shout-out to Evelyn from Mount Lawley, Anya from Keilor Park, Eli and Jaden from Glen Innes Public School, and Lee from Manly. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Grade 4 HS of Blackburn Primary School from their teacher Ms. Sage. They usually listen together every Monday, but they're locked down today. Mrs. Lewis's 3L class at Carlingford Public, West Ryde Public Year 5s and 5-6F from Bathurst Public School Support Unit. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.